What do you guys think about Afghanistan? You know,
I talked about that on Kirsten's interview, and I talked about it last night on the Q&A, and I talked about it the last 3 nights in a row. Let's put that on Patriot Dave. I had an interview on there the night before, and I talked about it there. It's a major, that is huge. It is the first country on earth absolutely free now from the cabal. Because you are special forces. You don't go into a country unless it's extremely well done. Without firing a shot, nobody was killed in the takeover of Kabul. Not a single person. They locked it down. They closed it. They closed the airport. Then they emptied the prison. Why? Because those are all political prisoners of the original regime, which was set in there by the cabal. What was the Taliban doing before that? Growing opium poppies.
Right.
And what happened to the other source for now those fields are burned. They burned them before they went in there. They actually burnt. They're not being, like I'm sure some of your friends, Michael, were having to protect the Taliban while they protected the crops in Afghanistan. We're in Afghanistan. I had like special forces email me and say, I didn't go into the special forces to guard the opium fields for the cabal.
Right.
It's like, what I do? Why don't I just take off my SEALs pin and I'll put on a skull and bones? This is ludicrous.
Yeah, it was that, I saw that when I was there. There was, the clowns, basically, as Kirsten calls them. We're chasing terrorists, and then this other group comes in, and they want to know where all that stuff is, and we're like, no, we're not going to have any part of that. You guys are going to have to get another team in here to work that. We're working this. We'll show you where it's at, but we're not going to have any problem. But they were definitely working that. They brought another team, and they were working that. Finding out where those guys were.
Yeah.
With the opium, and then it started. That was soon after we went in there. So very frustrating stuff.
Yeah, so
I have a question for Gene.
Burned, and Myanmar's already gone. The military took over, which that's the Golden Triangle. You're talking the main two places on earth are not the cabal's source of opioids. That's Big Pharma. Other than crude oil and the stuff they pull from crude oil distillates, that's their main source. And so that's gone. You crippled the cabal now. And
wow.
It is massive.
That's good insight. I like it.
For the entire world, for Big Pharma out, it's gone. That is, other than some small stuff here and there, but Afghanistan and Myanmar, the Golden Triangle, are gone. So now, and not only that, they locked it down. And then they said that the Taliban asked ISIS to go in the mainstream. No, they didn't. Taliban leader actually announced that was terrorists coming in, that the prison they took emptied, they did that for this. They got those guys in there. They're going to give them tribunals, and we kind of know what that happens in Middle Eastern areas. When you're given a tribunal and you're found guilty of doing terrorism that kill people, innocent people, like U.S. military, they cut your head off is what they usually do. So they're not going to survive this, but the burned out buildings and all of that they showed, that's ISIS. And when the Taliban took power, what was the first thing they do? It's not a clown op. The first thing the Taliban leader did is they went into the warlord's home, and the head, the main warlord guy, they arrested him, put him in that prison. Then they declared that the mandates are done. No more mandating stuff in people's arms or face diapers or any of this stuff.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah.
I pointed that out. Why did they leave all that equipment behind? So the totally suspect to me is like something doesn't ring true here. What do you get out of that? All the military gear is left behind.
Yeah, so the Taliban can use it to help them. They knew it's a big op. It's a big op taking out the major source of opioids on earth. The last one left for the cabal. It's massive. They've locked the borders down to try to keep ISIS out.
Interesting.
I have something to ask Gene, and then I also have a comment. Number one, let me make the comment. The comment is also Afghanistan and the Golden Triangle, Myanmar, were the head of the basically child trafficking areas.
Yep.
And why did Biden, because Biden didn't have any kind of control of the military, he had to send a CIA guy in to meet with the Taliban. That was interesting all in itself. And as you know, the big parasite, Andrew Blinken, which is now our Secretary of State, was asking for 200 million here, 200, 300 million there, when they're beginning to evacuate and still asking for millions of dollars. You know that he's the one that basically got his people. We started this company called West Exec that are on the Biden cabinet. That would be Jen Psaki, Mr. Jen Psaki, and the press secretary, and who else? We have the director of the DNI, it's a woman, basically, and also the deputy director of the CIA. Those are all Andrew Blinken's guys, and you know he's a parasite and totally incompetent. Now, the question for Gene is, why do you think that $85 billion of our military equipment, because, you know, I'm Chinese and I don't want us to get screwed. I want to know why you think it was left there.
So that the Taliban can get rid of ISIS elements that are there and lock that country down so they can't take it back. It's the alliance that's doing it. And, you know, you can see it when they came into Kabul, the shops reopened. That's in the reports I showed on Patriot Day. Mm-hmm. Shops reopened. In other words, they were closed because of the mandates, right? And now they're open. And they were waving flags and cheering. And like it looked like the Allies coming into Paris, you know, back in World War II. It was massive. And, you know, I'm Blinken. You know, for me, it's like an unholy triad where you got Smokey Joe and Kamala. You got Winkin, Blinken, and Nod. You got Winkin, Kamala. You got Blinken, and then you got Mr. Nod Yes Man to the Chinese CCP. It's Winkin, Blinken, and Nod running the show over at our place, you know, in our corporate stuff.
Mm. So Gene, I have a lot of friends that kind of, you know, keep me informed in the intel arena, and they say that a lot of the intel, they're being taken down. A lot of people are being you know, removed. There's lots of you know, missions that are getting shut down. What are you hearing on the backside of that?
Yeah, clowns in America are being shut down, the ops for them, for your friends and stuff. Mm-hmm. The alliance is shutting those ops down before they get going. They're saying no, because Wink and Blink and Nod, they're in control of a corporate structure that's bankrupt. They don't even have the money to pay anything anymore. Yeah. They don't have sources. They actually, way back when he first got in, the passcodes to get into the Federal Reserve and all the funds and the IRS too. That's why they kept moving the date out for taxes, because if you put them in the bank, they couldn't get at them because their passcodes. You know, it's like somebody hacked your email and changed your password. You can't get into your own email. They couldn't get into their own accounts, and now they haven't ever gotten into their own accounts. They're bankrupt beyond comprehension. They can't even pay for stuff anymore. So the alliance is just telling them, you know, if you don't want to, you know, we'll pay you. You can go in to, you know, help the, you know, so there are groups that are mercenaries now working for the Taliban in Afghanistan that had been forces of the clowns that were special forces guys and, you know, armed rangers and that stuff and SEALs. They're now in there, but they're getting paid by the alliance. That they're, you know, you want to work for pay or do you want to work for nothing for the clowns? They go, we'll work for pay, thank you. I have a wife and kids at home to feed.
Right. Yeah, I was getting that too. That there were different pots of money that were being utilized to you know, pay guys that were working for the alliance. That's interesting. You got the same stuff. So I was at this one meeting, this one event in Mount Shasta this weekend, and I talked to a lot of people that are, you know, space programs and stuff like that. One of them was saying that, you know, all bets are off because of you know, this jabberdo they're trying to do with the kids. So the kids, the star beings, the star children that are coming in, they're very concerned because they're helping us evolve to go to the next dimensional levels. And so that once they started going after the kids, they then all bets are off. Alex Collier, he's really tapped into that stuff, and he said that there's only 4 moves on the chessboard left, and that they should be done by December. What are you hearing on that, if anything?
Yeah, I'm hearing pretty much the same thing. There's been a huge split in the timelines. I actually had some friends visiting and I saw the wall rippling, like you see at the bottom of the swimming pool, the light ripples. I saw that on the wall and I pointed it out and they saw it too. I go, "Do you see that on the wall?" He goes, "Your wall looks like a swimming pool." I go, "What is that?" He goes, "That's timeline merge. And now we're having a timeline split because you'll see, depending on which line you're on, you're going to see different things.